What's good, sports gamers? Are you the type, because you're nice like that, who waits till the last minute in your fantasy draft to grab your QB? Or are you in need of your quarterback of the future in your league without giving up major, if any, assets? We got you covered. With this video, I'm going to go over my top 10 sleeper QBs you can grab for your team in Madden 20. So alright, let's get it. Coming in at number 10 is Nick Fitzgerald. He starts Madden with a 54 overall, but don't let that scare you off. Baked into that 54 is some stuff you can work with. Now, I'll preface that with saying he's going to be strictly for guys who like to run with their quarterback. His 84 speed and 88 acceleration is going to be something you can take advantage of, while also having a 93 stamina, which is great news if you like to run all crazy. Now, he's not going to just be a run as fast as you can QB, because although I don't recommend it regularly, his 72 trucking and 72 juke gives you the potential for some fun times in the open field if the situation or defender presents itself. Now, there's a reason I started with his running ability, because he can't throw. He's well below average in every possible throwing accuracy category, but he comes out the package with a decent enough arm, so those inaccurate passes will at least have some zip on them. Like I mentioned, if you like to run with your QB, the 22-year-old is a nice buy low guy you can run out there and build up. At 9 is Mason Rudolph. He is a repeater on the sleeper list from last year. The one-year pro isn't going to be out running defenders or trucking corners, but what he can bring to the table is great throwing accuracy numbers, making him a perfect low-rated pocket passer to build up. The 84 short, 79 mid, 80 deep, and 79 throw under pressure are nice numbers to start with for the 24-year-old. If you're a stay-in-the-pocket type of player, if you haven't drafted your QB yet in fantasy, or your stud is hurt for the season, Rudolph is a great one to get. The only negative to him I would say is he's already 24, but that still isn't too old. Considering the team he's on, Rudolph shouldn't be too hard to pry free from Steelers owners, and should last into the late hours in fantasy drafts to be a low-rated guy that won't hurt you. 8 is Philip Walker. Like Fitzgerald, his overall is going to be super low at the beginning, but he's workable. 82 speed, 88 excel, and 85 agility is going to allow you to make some plays to go along with the highest juke rating of any QB on the list at a 76. Unlike Fitzgerald, he also creates a path where you can start him off with some throws on the run because of his decent enough rating there. Bootleg type plays and running away from defenders should be where he shines early on. He has a noodle arm, so he probably needs a speed guy on his team for the deep ball to work consistently though. But he has enough workable traits to start that can give players some fits. 7 is GRIER. GRIER gives you an average athlete in terms of running away from sacks and defenders. But like Rudolph, his value is going to come from throwing the ball. 86 power, 83 short, 77 mid, and 78 deep, with 81 throw on the run has the makings of a great QB someday. The only downside is he's already 24 again, so the prime development years are limited, and the reason he's not higher on the list. Although being eligible for Rookie of the Year is a plus, and being a Panthers user, if you dare use him, McCaffrey, Olsen, Samuel, and more could get him by pretty easily and highlight his strengths. But being on the same team as Cam Newton should lower his value in regular team leagues as well, if you want to grab him. And if you're a thrower of the football on a consistent basis and are cheap, GRIER is a nice grab for your team. 6 is Nick Mullins. After Jimmy G went down for the year last year, Mullins got to play a little bit, and as a result got his overall updated. But thankfully it didn't get too high. What Mullins brings to the table is a version of Cody Kessler. Not too big of an arm, isn't super fast, but he delivers accurate passes very consistently at a young age, and that's what Mullins gives you. 85 short, 79 mid, 78 deep, 79 under pressure, and 81 throw on the run. Gives you a QB who at least is average in every major accuracy rating for a quarterback. And it's not like every QB can say that, you know. In regular team leagues, having a target like Kittle can make Mullins look a lot better than he really is as well. Utilizing his 85 short and Kittle's yards after the catch ability will make some magic happen. For the great starting point and accuracy the 24 gives you, his arm isn't the best and his injury rating is kind of low. But for an ideal backup, low-end starter, the 68 overall Mullins gives you a lot. At 5 is EASTON Stick. Stick's combination of 85 speed, 88 acceleration, and 91 agility is matched by few, offering getaway from defender speed and maneuverability with his 91 agility. His throwing accuracy numbers are on the cusp of average, so he's not going to have terrible games to start solely because his ratings are so low, but they do still need working on. Like many running QBs, he offers throw on the run ability, so getting him on the edges is key. The biggest downside is Stick's throw power is only 83, but his running ability and not terrible throwing numbers aside from the power will allow him to make a bunch of plays. On the regular team roster, you can get away with his lack of power as the Chargers stars aren't exactly burners themselves, and he will also add a dimension to their run game to go along with Gordon and Allen and company. At 4 is Kyle LAULETTA. LAULETTA gives you a young QB who gives you the ability to throw on the run, under pressure, and deep accurately while being serviceable underneath, while giving you some speed to take the 5-yard run here and there. Last year I thought he was going to end up replacing Eli Manning, then the Giants went and drafted the great Daniel Jones in the first this year, so LAULETTA in regular team leagues should be way easier to grab from Giants owners. Or if you're a Giants user yourself, you can send off Jones and use him. The Giants receivers aren't exactly game breaking, but LAULETTA has the skills to get by with it. At 3 is DeShone Kizer. Now before we start, Kizer has some negatives. He's an average athlete, so he's not going to be outrunning defenders in the backfield or open field, and he's not very accurate short. But with him, the deeper you get down the field, the closer to average his ratings get, while also being equipped with an above average arm, so you're good to go there. Pressure can cause him to throw some ducks here and there as his under pressure rating shows, but despite that, his throw on the run rating of 80 shows he can still make defenses pay on the move. It's funny, I loved Kizer all 3 years he's been man as a low rated QB to grab, and he might remain on this list until he ages out. The guy's been terrible, but his rating as far as Madden QB goes are still good enough to grab him. At 2 is Joshua Dobbs. If you're building a run first offense with QB runs, option plays and such, or even a straight drop back passing offense, Dobbs is on a short list of low rated guys I would target. His 84 speed, 88 excel, and 86 agility gives you a consistent running threat. Whether you run an option offense or just straight up scramble, he has enough juice to do serious damage. Then what makes him special as a running QB and into a poor man's Cam Newton is his moves in the open field. You can either juke a defender with his 75 juke, spin off a linebacker with his 76 rating, or truck a corner with his 77. He's very versatile when it comes to beating the defender in front of him. And when dudes who are that strong in the run game usually are terrible as passers, but Dobbs is not. He's pretty average all around there, so he's not going to embarrass you to start and can be a stud in no time. Try your best to snag Dobbs from Steelers owners, and he's an instant impact player with how strong of a runner he is. You won't regret it. And coming in number 1 on Sports Gamer's top 10 sleeper QBs to grab in Madden 20 is Tyree Jackson. The undrafted free agent Jackson comes in like a Michael Vick starter kit. He has the speed to make you pay on the edges with his 86 speed and 89 acceleration, and then the 95 arm power to hurt defenders plenty deep. What's interesting is his deep throw accuracy, throw under pressure, and throw on the run are all decent. The most surprising part with Jackson is he has 79 break sack rating, so he can outrun defenders to the end, and if he stays in the pocket too long, there's a good chance he's going to break the sack. Jackson is super fast with high enough ratings in important categories to be a major get if you somehow acquire him in your league. Good news is he's on the same team as Josh Allen, who is not too shabby in Madden after you develop him, so players will favor him. So you might get Jackson as a throw-in or even for free if he hits the practice squad or free agencies. He's not going to dice you up in the short and mid passing game early on, but he's great in enough categories for a 21-year-old rookie where it's a super solid investment to grab him and develop him into your starting QB for years to come. So with that, it makes sense why Tyree Jackson sits atop Sports Gamers Online top 10 sleeper QBs for Madden 20. So alright sports gamers, do you agree with the list? And if not, what's a quarterback that you have got your eyes on or have been playing with so far that you feel has exceeded their overall? Let me know in the comments down below. With this list we have 4 rookies, 3 one-year pros, 3 two-year pros. Purpose of the series every year is partly to highlight the guys that many others aren't looking at so you can get them cheap. So no first or second round picks, while also being young enough where you can develop them because of the skills they have if you put the time in. I enjoy doing these vids every year and I hope I was able to shed some light on some guys you can grab up in your leagues. And stay tuned here at Sports Gamers Online for our next vid in our sleeper series, the running backs, and more Madden 20 content. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good y'all.